Hey again, my name is Rebel and I'm the Rebel Reseller, and today I'm going to be doing my what solds for last week, which would be November 22nd through the 25th. Everything's been going great as far as sales. I truly believe it's because I went in and I did every single one of my listings to be current for that month, meaning I ended them and did sell similar, so every one of them was fresh for the month. So I think I mentioned this in one of my previous videos within the last few days. I haven't decided if I'm going to still keep doing that. I've always ended my oldest listings and did sell similar, and while I did that, I tweaked them, I lowered the price, I changed things, I fixed things, and I tried to do as much of that as I could, but I did not mess with the prices. There was only so much time in a day, and it took me hours and hours and hours over, it basically felt like the whole month. I hardly got as many listings up as I normally do because I was spending so much time fixing these listings. I'm hoping that with this one reset, that everything's going to be going fine, and maybe do it like every 3 months or 4 months, but I don't know. If I start seeing a decline that's more dramatic than the normal ebbs and flows, then maybe I'll do it again. So I have solds to share with you from eBay, Facebook, and Etsy. Now I have 2 this week, and I've actually already sold another item. So I need to get on there and put some more listings. You know, I cringe having to pay the 20 cents each time. But right now I've made the 3 sales, and they were all some of my higher dollar items. I haven't listed anything that was below like $35. So it's still good though. Didn't sell anything on Bonanza. And I wonder, because we were ending and doing sell similar, and Bonanza pulls all their information from eBay directly, that, you know, it just kind of messed with everything. So I've hardly sold anything. I don't sell a lot on there anyway, but it is an easy platform to work with. So, all right, let's get going. First item is from some of the FisherPrice Loving Family stuff that I picked up. I bought 3 doll houses this past year. 1 from a yard sale, 2 from consignment sales, and put the doll houses over in my booth because they're too large to try to ship. And then I just lotted up the people and the furniture into lots and sold them that way. So this is from that. This was kind of a hodgepodge. It was the washer and dryer and a toilet and a pet basket and a towel or rug. But I did sell it for $17.95. This is from America We Go. That is, I think, the predecessor to Fiesta. It's a good brand. I like the quality of the plush from them. This is just a duck, and I sold it for $13.45. This is my baby Jesus. I picked it up at a churchyard sale. I want to say I paid $1 or $2 for him. He had a little bit of red, like, discoloration on the back of him, but placed in a nativity manger, he's going to be fine. I had the price up a little bit. I got quite a few lowball offers for like 20 bucks, but I ended up selling him for best offer of $47. This is a roly-poly bear from California Stuffed Toys. I think they're from like the 70s, 80s, not quite sure. This one had a I Love Nursing shirt on it. I don't know if it was added, but I went ahead and left it on, and he sold for $14.95. These are a jigsaw puzzle that had 4 puzzles within it, 4 500-piece puzzles. I bought a bunch of these the first time we ever went to Finders Keepers when it opened. I bought tons of puzzles. Sold some pretty soon after I got them all listed, and then they've just kind of sat for a while. And I'm not sure if it's just the cold weather or people are starting, you know, to look for Christmas gifts, but they've picked up. I actually sold 2 of these, one of them I think on Facebook and one on here. But I did sell this for $14.05. No, $17.05. This is just an example of a Walmart plush that I picked up. It's a hamster with rabbit ears. It's funny, I buy a lot of stuffed animals with rabbit ears on them, and they tend to sell pretty easily and quickly for me. This was a multicolored hamster, and it sold for $8.96. This is a plush I picked up at a yard sale, or for those new to my channel, I tend to spend about $1 or less at yard sales, unless it's something really unique. I do pay up a little bit more at estate sales and thrift stores and places like that, only because it's the convenience. And then when I go to the Goodwill bins, it's no holds barred. I buy cartloads of plush because I'm paying by the pound, and why not? But ET sold for $9.86. This was a Presto Pop Light Hot Air Popcorn Popper. I think we buy a lot at this one thrift store that we like to go to, and we usually pay $2 or $3 for them. They're easy. A lot of times, the thing you need to look for with a lot of these hot air popcorn poppers is make sure that it has the little dish that sits on top of it that you can use to melt butter. That seems to get lost a lot, and that's something that people look for in their hot, you know, because you don't want to put butter inside of them. You just melt it while you're doing your popcorn. But it sold for $17.95. These, I bought a bunch of these at a yard sale earlier this summer, and then I bought a bunch a couple of weeks ago at an estate sale. I can't remember which is which. One of them, I think I paid $5 each for them, and the other one I paid $7.50. Some of them I sold. Some of them are worth a whole lot of money, and then there's some like this. I did take a best offer on this one for $20. This is from my online estate sale that I've been doing some haul videos on. This is a Russ plush, and it's Quincy's Big Fat Yeast Roll from 1991. There was a whole lot of advertising plush in this estate sale that I purchased. And I sold him for $9.86. And I think I have another one to list now. It was in one of my latest hauls. This is a Dakin Nature Snowy Owl. Nature Babies Snowy Owl. 12-inch plush. If you see the paper tag is on the table in front of him, that probably means he was beyond spot cleaning. So he did go through the washer, and I just take the tags off and include it with the purchase, or, you know, with the stuffed animal in the bag. But he sold for $8.05. These are Hasbro Bay Blades. I paid, I want to say $20 at a yard sale. I put it up for auction, and it went up to like $79, $76. And then the buyer didn't pay. So I went ahead and made a second chance offer, and that buyer didn't take it. So I put it up with best offer, and I sold it for $70. This is from my online estate sale. This is a Hershey's How the Grinch Stole Christmas puppet. I also had Max the dog, but I found them in 2 different bags and didn't realize I had them until I had already sold Max when I found him. But he did quite well for me for being a finger puppet. I sold him for $17 best offer. This is from a lot of dishes that Robert picked up. I want to say he paid $75 for like 2 large totes. It was Gorham, and the design is Ariana. And I sold this plate for $7, but if you notice in the description, it was actually damaged. I think I've got the others. I sold everything by the piece. And then the other ones are priced a little bit higher. But don't be afraid if you have stuff that's damaged, like dishes, to go ahead and list it. It just had some paint wear to the designs on it. It just didn't look as nice as some of the other plates. So I'm happy though that this plate actually sold before the other plates. This is a Build-A-Bear Plush. Probably picked it up at the bins. That's where I tend to buy a lot of them. So I probably paid, you know, $1 or less for it. And he sold for $9, best offer. This is another one of the Hallmark Snowman animated plush. This one I did buy at the estate sale down the road from my house. So I paid $7.50 for it. And he sold for $29.66. This is a Cartoon Network Powerpuff Girls headband. I bought a stuffed animal and it was on the stuffed animal. But I bought it for this headband. And it still had its tag attached to it. And I sold the headband for $13.45. These I picked up at the Goodwill store. It was actually the store next to the bins that I like to go to. They were 50 cents each. I bought quite a few of these taller thermoware cups, and then I bought some of that were coffee cups with a handle. I went ahead and lotted them into groups of 2, and I sold this set for $11.66. We've been buying a whole lot of pots and pans this year. Anytime we go to an estate sale, Robert usually goes into the kitchen first. And if you pick up pots and pans, if they're heavy, you need to check into them. And these were. This is from New Era Cookware. It was a pan with an egg poacher and then a domed lid. And I think you could flip it over and use it for something else. It has sat in my store for a while, and I hardly had any offers or anything on it, but this past month, again, ending all of them and relisting them, it's like people were seeing them again for the first time, which, I mean, literally they were, but it just seemed like things just weren't being seen. But I did sell this New Era for the $71.95. I think we paid $5 at an estate sale for all of it, maybe 10. This is FisherPrice Bubble Guppies. It's the bus and 2 of the little characters. The characters have like little wheels on the bottom and they roll out, and there's other pieces that can go to it that they have like slides and everything. I've never watched this show. My kids weren't of this time era. But it's been listed for a while, and I finally did sell it for $17.95. This is a vintage Tupperware divided veggie tray. I like to pick up vintage Tupperware if the price is relatively cheap. I don't, and in good condition. I don't want to buy it if it's got all of the cut marks and everything on it. It's just a harder sell, and they do take up a whole lot of space. But I probably paid $1 or $2 at an estate sale or a yard sale, and I sold the Tupperware for $13.45. But this is what it looks like. It just has the little divided areas, and then the center had a lidded bowl set also. And I was able to fit it down into a one of the priority rectangle boxes. This was a game we picked up at a yard sale or an estate sale recently. I think we paid $2 or $3 for it, but it was sealed in the box. And it sold for $26.95. Definitely keep your eye out for sealed board games. Not all of them are things you want to buy. Just check the comps. These I picked up probably at the Goodwill bins. I actually had them separate at one point and not realizing that they were actually Chip and Dale because of the color of the noses. Went ahead and made a lot of the two of them together, and they sold for $8.96. This is a Build-A-Bear black cat plush called Starry Sky. I picked it up at a yard sale not very long ago. I paid $3 for it, and she sold for best offer of $20. Another game we picked up at a yard seller or an estate sale. I remember we paid $1 for this. I passed it by and Robert went and checked it. And of course, he finds these kinds of things. I'm all about the plush. Just all about the plush. But it sold for best offer of $13. This, I bought a pasta making machine and we parted it out. We've talked about that a lot. This was from Bronco Papil, and it came with like little dies. I've sold the measuring cup for like, I want to say $14 or $18. These are very much worth it if you find them to split them up and sell the parts. This was just the face plate that went inside of the machine, and it sold for $17.95. I have a cheat sheet here because sometimes what's on here on the screen isn't what it actually sold for. I'm not quite sure why. But definitely, if you see pasta making machines and they have Papil or Ronco, and I think there's another brand I pick up, definitely check the comps. This, I bought a massive amount of HO type buildings that were either assembled or in their boxes. The figures, just I think I spent like $100 or $150, and I came home and one of these long tables here, it was just piled. I made so much money, and some of them were huge put together, and my dear hubby made me boxes and packed this stuff up like crazy for me. But I was down to just this, I thought. One last kit, which I did end up selling for, let's see, let me look over here, $17.95. But while I was digging in the box where I had kept all of this stuff, I found one little set of the miniature people that I know, because I have one of those brains when I'm going through all of my eBay listings. It's not that I memorize them, but I remember a lot about what I'm doing. And I knew I had not seen that. I just knew it. So I went and checked. I brought it with me when I went to pull it, and it wasn't no longer listed. So it's just a reminder that after the holidays, I am going to do a very thorough inventory of all of my stuff to see what listings I have been dropped, because it happens. There'll probably be, of my 8,000 listings, I'll probably find at least 100 things that are no longer listed, at least. So especially if you list a whole lot like I do, and you keep stuff for the long tail like I do, you need to watch, because things just kind of drop off. So, but I have taken the pictures and it is relisted. Next. This is a Boyd's Bear ornament. I bought a huge box of them. I bought them for a couple of things that were in the box, and then everything else I've been listing and selling slowly but surely. This is just a Christmas ornament, and he sold for $13.45. These are Paw Patrol figures. Well, this one is. Definitely familiarize yourself with some of the animals that go with Paw Patrol, because I do quite well with them. Usually when you look on the bottoms of them, they'll have a like a Spin Master, SPM or something like that. And usually that's my key, that it's probably Paw Patrol. It could be something else, but this, and then you have to use Google Lens. This was from the Jungle Rescue. It was Mandy the monkey, And this single figure sold for $11.66. This is a vintage FisherPrice Basketball. It went to this particle board like standing basketball set from 1973. I just decided to split it up. The basketball stuff is actually over in my booth. It's got some condition issues, but I knew that listing this, I would make the money back on what I paid for it. And I did sell the ball for best offer of $11. This is a Brenton Angel Bear plush. He's got like a Christmas tree around him, and when you put in the batteries, the tree does light up. Very cute. I think I paid $5 for him at a yard sale because he was just very high quality in my opinion. And he sold for $24.95. Just an example of one of the pairs of pants I sold. This is Old Navy, and I sold it for $17.71. I don't try to show a whole lot, but I do want to show, you know, this is Old Navy, and I got $17 for it. I probably paid $1 or $2 at a yard sale. So if you're not looking at clothes, consider it. Believe me, I did not want to sell clothes. This is a Robert thing. He decided we needed to branch out into other things. Just, you know, not to have your eggs in all in one basket, right? So, this is a Douglas Llama plush. Just an example of another brand that I like to buy. Not high dollar, good quality, and they tend to move quite well for me. And the llama sold for $8.96. This is from my online estate sale. I just love this. This is the Goldfish from, you know, the crackers. And he has bunny ears on him. And he sold for best offer of $10. 3.5 inches. Very cute. There was a time when I went to estate sales, I bought every new in the package sheet set that I could find. Usually they were $2 and $3. I haven't been doing that as much. I think the market just kind of changed. I haven't done as well with them, and I don't find them very often. But I've had this for a very long time, and again, I think it just was lost in the Neverlands. But this did sell for best offer of $18. This is Christmas by Krebs. I see tons of these ball ornaments at yard sales. I buy some of them if they're in really good condition. They seem to be from the 90s. There's probably more current ones, but a lot of the ones, this one was from 1993. It was unique in that it was one of the glass balls that had the silk picture, like thread around it to make the picture. But I sold it for $8.50. Here's a picture up close. Very cute. I like vintage Christmas. I got this in that Facebook Marketplace haul that I shared with you guys, where I got the My Child doll. I did sell the My Child doll for $69.95, and I've sold this Holly Hobby with the little plastic ornament for best offer of $20. Those were the two main things that I bought, and along with the Snoopy blanket, and I haven't sold the Snoopy Lovey blanket yet. The next item that sold is from Animal Adventures. It was a green dinosaur plush from 2015, and he sold for $11.66. Another brand I like to pick up. And the older it seems to be, I get more for it. I thought I had sold all of this, but this, I think, really is the last piece of it. I picked up a Sunbeam rocket grill at a yard sale. I paid $5 for it. I bought it basically because it had a lot of the wax paper inserts that went in it for cooking, and I sold them right away. And then I decided to take the parts off the grill and sell each one. And this is just the knob that was on the grill, and it sold for $13.45. This was also from the Finders Keepers haul. The first time we went, I bought a ton of backpacks also. It's just, again, one of those things. I sold some very quickly, and then the rest just kind of, all interest was lost on them. I would send out offers and just nothing would happen. And I had 2 of these, and they both have sold in the last week or so. This is High Sierra. I paid $1 for it, and it sold for $17.95. All right, here's my big eBay sale, and probably my big sale for that 4-day period. I bought a tote, pretty large tote of Duplos. I paid $40 for it at an estate sale down the road from my house, and I pulled out all the animals. I've divvied it up into a lot of lots. I think my previous what sold, I showed the trains that I pulled out of that. I think I sold them for about $18. These were the animals, and I ended up taking a best offer for them of $100. And then I put all the specialty blocks, all the blocks that have like a design on them together. And then I think I've got a lot that's just the people that were in there. And then I still have, oh, and then I have another lot that's just vehicles. It was a massive amount of blocks. And then I still have just the plain blocks. I haven't decided if I'm going to put them on my booth or not. All right, and then I have several Facebook orders to share with you. Facebook is offering free shipping up to $20 to certain buyers. I have not been able to figure out who gets it and who doesn't. Not all of my orders are free shipping, but I have seen a major increase in my sales. This first item is from Playmates Toys. It's called a Fuzzy Buzzies Bug Doll, 3.5 inches, from $19.99, and it sold for $7. I like to pick up these very unique little things that are vintage. This is a Nanco hamster plush, 7 inches. It sold for $8. This is a Baby Goon Floppy the Elephant animated plush. His little ears moved to music. And he sold for $14. These next 2 items, I believe, are brass that I sold. This was the brass flying duck statue. It's 9 inches tall. We bought 2 huge lots of brass. I still haven't listed all of it. But this one did sell on Facebook for $28. Oh, this is Fancy Nancy. This is a ballerina doll from Fancy Nancy. It's by Jack's Pacific, and she sold for $13. And this is the other brass. These are some wall candle holder sconce set that sold for $38. Now my 2 Etsy orders. This was from my online estate sales. This is Musclemans Applesauce. Was the maker of it, and he's Thorndike the Dragon from 1988, and he sold for $37.95. And then this one was Mighty Max. Now this is like the boys version of Polly Pocket from Bluebird. This was just the castle, and I think I had a few small pieces that went with it, but no figures. I had it listed forever on eBay, and then I just recently started on Etsy again, and it too sold for $37.95. So that's it. I'm going to go ahead and get the other half of this video done in the next few days and get it released. Probably, I think we usually release this on Friday, and then we do another one on Sunday. So the weekend sales will be in a couple of days. In the meantime, I still need to do another haul for you guys. I finally settled in my, no, I'm not going to say totally. I don't have all my shelves over there, and I ran out of space. So I still have a few more things that I need to get over to my booth. But I'm fingers crossed that I do quite well there. It had been there 2 days, and I made $4 so far. So fingers crossed, at least in the beginning, to make booth rent. And then we can grow from there. But, all right, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.